See, that goes away. But you can kind of get a feel for how loud you need to talk. So if that hits about halfway, you're talking loud enough. And then, where's the pause? There we go. So you'll just go over, pause it, and then pause it.
First of all, we have two tall strips, which is the insert and view. The view will allow you to view the data that you entered, and the insert will allow you to enter the name and the number for a person. And then we have the search box where you can type the name that you want and search for it.
Yeah, it's okay. This is just practicing.
Okay, so moving on, up here we are initiating the database here on line 27. Starting at line 30, we are declaring where we're pulling this information from, what we're viewing. Essentially right here we have database name set visible to true, which means we can see the previously entered names of the stored entries. DB number does the same thing, only for phone numbers. Here we are turning off the insert view, so we have only the database visible. We're going to disable the save button since it is not needed to view the database. Down here at line 38, we're starting a new method, which is what will occur when the insert button is clicked. Here we are clearing the database view to give us fresh rows for inserting. Right here, we are turning off DB name and DB number, so those stored entries are not visible. And on name 1 and number 1, we're going to set those to visible. That way we can go through and enter a name and a number of a new person. So we'll have the save button enabled there in order to save that new entry. And finally, we will refresh the database with our new entries.
And moving on to the next part, so this function operates the save button. Whenever you click the save button, it creates a new number for. Sorry, I'm gonna be a pain. Yes. Yeah. So the phone new number equals new phone, day grid, etc. This part creates the new array that the rest of these will then be stored into. This is the for loop that for each entry, it will prepare for the submission of all the entries you've made. The new number is new phone, the new number, name and number. These are all the actual process of it adding the entered values into the new array. And then, which part was, sorry, the insert and submit, was this just preparing it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and then the database.phones.insert on submit insert on submit line then stages those changes to be made once we hit line 70, which is the submit changes. And then next it will clear the rows of the entry that we have made and then refresh the database view. Next is the search button, which when you click it, it will take the text box that it takes the input for the query or the search and turns it into the query by looking at either the phone name or the phone number, and then it selects the variable that. Sorry, what's the select phone part, by the way? Just making sure. Sorry.
Think of select phone as pull phone object from database.
Okay, so
that's just search. Mm-hmm. So it honestly it kind of helps to think of it in a different order than it's presented. So from our database, pull any phone that either has a name or a number containing what's in the search bar.
So this is it looking for anything relevant, and then this is then just returning the value of, okay, sweet. And then after is then finding the values that match the, I swear I'm not trying to be a pain.
No, good.
And then this is where it then takes that, the query that is found from the database and returns it to show in the or into the visual area.